Good morning, everyone. This is Melanie from Lightbeam's Treasures and Curiosities. This is a very special episode because what we're going to be talking about is the Soy Pod Challenge. However, what I'm going to be showing to you is I am going to give full transparency in regards to how I source, how I do my business, and how that affects my death pile. Okay, and for every single person, it is going to be completely different. And that's why you're seeing so many soy pod challenges, which I'll talk about that in 1 minute. And you're going to see different levels of what people consider their death pile. Now, for those of you who love my videos, you know what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Throw me a comment as well. I would love to hear how your business is structured. What type of techniques do you do? And also, what are you doing about your death pile at this moment? Are you taking advantage of the 50,000 free uploads, free insertion fees? Or are you utilizing this time to go through your death pile? I would really love to hear about that. So hit the comment below, hit the like button, subscribe to me, hit the notification ding, and let's grow our business together. So now, there is a very special challenge going on right now, and I think the name is so appropriate for this type of generation, being that there is always jokes about all kinds of healthy living and this and that, but the name has nothing to do with healthy living. It is the Soy Pod Challenge. And what is the Soy Pod Challenge? I gotta show this to you. Soy Pod. Show off your pile of death. Yes, the pile of death. All that stuff that we've been collecting, accumulating, sourcing, and then we either put it in a corner or put it in a shelf or box it up for future use because we're going to do something with it, but then we never get around to do it, and yet we're in the endless cycle of constantly sourcing more new stuff. Now, my death pile is extremely huge. And the other thing about my death pile is not only is it huge, it is, I'll admit it because my husband says this all the time. He says it's nothing more than crap. I would say 95% of my death pile is useless for eBay. Yeah. So I guess you could say that is a hoarding issue. But what I'm starting to do now, and I think it's actually having an interesting turn of events, is I'm starting to bundle things up. I am creating mystery boxes. I'm creating more of the line wholesale boxes. I am bundling up my death pile, trying to sell many things in a very low price, as opposed to individually sourcing it out. Now, let's talk about my sourcing first of all, because my sourcing is much different than a lot of general people. And that's something to look to yourself. So the very first question I have for business owners like you is, how much do you actually spend on sourcing? Think about that. I mean, how much do you spend? A lot of sellers have a dollar amount already set up. They're like, I'm going to spend this amount of money. A lot of sellers are like, oh, as soon as I see a deal, I'm going to get right in on a deal, take out the wad of cash, and give them however much it is, because I know I'm going to make them. And then there are a lot of people who have no budget whatsoever and work their magic. So I'm curious, you as a reseller, do you set yourself a budget? How much do you normally spend on sourcing? Because there is a very interesting correlation between the numbers that people show, where they're making thousands and thousands, if not tens of thousands, in a 90-day period. I'm curious, how much did they spend in order to make that? Me, on the other hand, I am going to give you full transparency. I have a rule for myself, and you ready for this? My rule is I will not source more than $25 per week, and that's if and only if I have the $25 to spend. In some cases, that $25 has increased a little bit because if I had a really good week and I've had lots of sales with a lot of spending money, then yes, it will be a little higher. But anytime I go to Dirt Cheap, anytime I go to sales, I will not spend more than X amount of dollars. And when I average and look at my previous months, it averages out to $25 a week, which is $100 per month. So yes, that is all I spend on anything and everything I buy for eBay is $100. So my question is if you had $100 to spend for the entire month, can you do eBay full time? Would like to know. I'm curious about that. But like I said, for me, things are much, much different. So I only spend $100 for the retail arbitrage aspect per month. That's my budget. Where do I source? And a lot of people want to know. I will give you full transparency. First, I live in a college town. And for those of you who know about college town, first, students, they have no attachment whatsoever to anything. Depending upon when they start school, end school, they will dump everything out. In fact, during dorm changeover day, that's the best time. I mean, if you own a furniture store, you go around town with a truck, throw all the furniture in a truck, and I mean, I'm serious. You can go to another state or something and just open up your own furniture store. And these are all items that only been used for the one semester, if anything. So you could just imagine how much stuff. Same thing with kitchen items, personal items. They just literally just take a box and just dump it on the road. Okay, that's issue number one. Because I'm in a college town, there's also a lot of books. And I mean, books in this town is, you could build houses with the amount of books that people have here. So one of the things that they do in this particular town, and I talked about this many times, is they have these little tiny house libraries. I always fill up those libraries. I go around town, fill whenever I see them. Aside from that, the library has this program where pretty much you could just dump books on their lawn. And they lay them out in tubs, they lay them out in boxes, and you could rummage through the books as much as you want. Aside from that, there's also constantly on Facebook Marketplace, there will be ads that say, come pick up my books, here's free books, and it goes on and on and on. And it's almost funny how when Amazon is big, that people don't take advantage of the Amazon FBA. I know FBA now is shut down for the time being, but I wish I had an Amazon account, but I don't. But that's another story. Anyway, so books are a very big deal, and I get a lot of books for free. And I said this in the past, the rules with my books is I will take the books, anything worth $10 or more I keep, anything else I will either bundle up or I will give back to the libraries, I will redonate, I will fill up the houses, or I'll bundle them up and send to a book buyback program or something along those lines. That's what I do with books. I also do a lot of leftover garage sales. So what happens is so many people out here have garage sales. And I go to these garage sales, I'll talk to the owners and stuff like that, and I'll be curious, what do you do with your leftover garage sales? Do you throw them out? Do you sell them? Do you do this or that? And I will either make a deal with them, and remember my budget's $25, if anything. I'll either make a deal with them. Most of the time, they're just done with it. They want to get rid of it. They will just hand me stuff. Or they will say, I'm dumping everything out on the curbside at the end of the garage sale, so take whatever you want. I love those things. It is like, what can I say? It is like shopping through an exciting open market or something like that, because people do this all the time. They will just dump their garage sales stuff right on the street, and guess what? You just take. I also do a lot of storage auction leftovers. I talk to a lot of people who are in storage auctions. When they just say, I don't want to deal with this stuff, I will talk to them. Estate sale leftovers, I will talk to them. It's all about networking, getting to know others. Believe it or not, this sounds funny. my friends and, well, I used to say friends and family. I don't have any family in this area. But friends, when they're cleaning out their closets and they're like, I just don't want this stuff, they will actually just dump it over because they know that this is what I do. And generally speaking, I ask them, I'm like, do you want a percentage of what I sell? Most of the time, they're like, no, just have it, enjoy it. You're going to deal with the stuff, it's yours. A lot of times, I will give a percentage depending on what it is. And then I do consignment for friends as well. I mean, I have people that are like, look, this is valuable. Can you sell this for me? Usually I take, my rule is I'll take 20% of what the item sells for, plus they have to pay for fees. So it usually comes out to I take 30%, they keep 70% of whatever the fee is. So I do that. That's a nice little thing, for them. And then, of course, it is my dirt cheap retail arbitrage, anything I do on clearance where I only spend $20 a week. So that right there is how I source. That is my business structure on where I get my items, which means, think about it carefully. The items I am sourcing are items that nobody wants. They are the bottom of the barrel items. They are the items that stores couldn't even sell. I mean, the only reason Dirt Sheep has those $10 carts is because it has been in the store so long. They're sick and tired of it being in the store that they're just taking the garbage, dumping it in a cart, and wrapping it up in plastic wrap just to sell it for $10. And in some cases, it gets so bad that they will actually sell the cart for $5, or in the case of Valentine's Day, they will sell it for $1. And that is what happened with all that Valentine's Day stuff. Oh, we're going to have a visitor because Bijou's trying to get over here. But if he comes over, we'll give him some attention. Here he is. Say hi to the camera, Bijou. Oh, we love you, baby. Yep, he has to make his little appearance, and he's purring. So we're going to pet him for a little bit, but then I'm going to put him down after he works so hard just to get up here. But that's okay. He has the girls over there who'll play with him. So, as you can see, with that much sourcing that I do, you could probably imagine the amount of items I have. Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed by it. Well, actually, no, I'm not embarrassed by it. So I constantly have little tiny arguments with my husband because, all right, we have a storage facility outside that's completely filled. I took over an entire bedroom as an office, which is completely filled. We have a second bedroom, which used to be we had a roommate. Well, the roommate moved out, so I moved into that second bedroom, and it's now filled. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 closets completely filled with stuff, and I have another back room completely filled with stuff. Okay, so I can't even show you my death pile because if I open up and show you your death pile, all you're going to see is boxes and boxes and boxes, and it's not going to make any sense. So basically, what I'm doing right now, and I think I'm allocating the correct amount of time because I spent 2 hours power cleaning yesterday, and mostly all day I'm spending actually putting stuff up. But what I'm basically doing is I'm pulling out a box, and this is a box that is just filled to the top with excess garage sale stuff, excess items, just completely mishmash with stuff. And I'm taking each item out and I'm saying, okay, A, is this in good condition? Can I sell it alone? Can I sell it in a bundle with something? What can I do with this? Is it expired that it's like, okay, I can't do anything with this and I have to throw it out? So I have to run these questions through my head. A lot of the stuff is junk. Can't do anything with it. But I wanted to have a garage sale. It's garage sale season. It's starting to get nice. The problem is, in this particular town, we have a stupid town ordinance. And guess what the ordinance is? You are only allowed to have one garage sale in a 6-month period, which means technically you could have 2 garage sales a year. And how do they know this? Because aside from having the garage sale, you must have a permit for your garage sale. And guess what? They do come around looking for your permit because They are so aching for money that if you are selling something and you don't have that permit that you paid for listed and shown, you are going to get a citation and a fine, which they will be so proud to hand out to you and give to you. So I can only have 2 garage sales a year. And generally when I have a garage sale, it is usually a huge garage sale. I do a thing called fill a bag for $10. And I know that sounds crazy, but you take a plastic bag, fill it up with anything and everything. And I tell people, make sure it's bulging. Get as much stuff as you want in there, and it's $10. And you know something? That is a brilliant thing. And on the last day, I go to $5, but I tell people $10. But yes, they do lower the price on the very last day. And what that does is it gets rid of all that little tiny excess garage sale. Because this is no joke, when I have garage sales, it takes me like 2 days just to put the items out. I fill up the entire backyard. I fill up the entire front yard. It wraps around the house completely, and it is huge. And even with all the people that are filling up with bags and bags of stuff, you know something? What ends up happening is I then have to take my items, put them back in a box, and once again, box it back up. That's how massive my garage sales are. And I will be honest, my next garage sale that I have will probably be even bigger. So I have to make sure that I get plenty of tables in that respect. But as of right now, with all this C word, we can't say this what it is, but what's been going on, there's no garage sales. You can't even go to City Hall because they're not issuing permits. You got to do social distancing. No crowds more than $10, 10 feet from each other. We need to be careful. So right now there is no garage sales. There are no sales. So I am just saving up junk for my next big garage sale when things finally get better. So in the meantime, it is about combining, putting things together, and seeing where it goes. So let's see what happens. I am going to be going through my death pile. Maybe I may start taking pictures at least. I think it'll be very, very difficult to do a video unless I do a short little snippet that says, hey, this is death pile number 1, this is death pile number 2, this is death pile number 3. Like I said, my piles are rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms of stuff. But today is Saturday. I have absolutely no plans for today. Not going out. Going to be shut in just like I was the rest of the week. And I am going to be selling more and more and more stuff. So that is my goal for today, is to just get through some of my soy pod. Love that name. And I'm just going to keep putting stuff on Mercari and keep putting stuff on eBay. So everybody, I would love to hear what your business structure is. I would love to hear what your business model is. If you want to be transparent and tell me about your sourcing, about your funds and this and that. And good luck, everyone. It's a tough time. It's tough sales. I hope you guys do very well. And I think I teased yesterday and said, if there's anybody who can talk about how to do eBay with $0, that's probably my channel. I am your $0, no investment type of person that turned it into a full-time business and is able to survive based on my sales. So with that, everyone, take care. Good luck. Drop me a line. Drop me a comment. Would love to hear what you have to say. Take care.